Chief Inspector Grafton looked at Polly aptly. "So, what can I do for you, Polly?" "You could show me the artefact." Grafton smiled. "Tell me how you heard about it and what makes you think it's alien?" Polly sighed. "I'm not at all convinced it's alien, Chief Inspector. I have a completely open mind. What makes it interesting is the information I received about it. 1. It came out of the sky and buried itself to a depth of 6 feet. The depth a meteorite might bury itself on striking the earth. 2. According to my source, the object made a musical sound. I have never heard that said of any meteorite before. That in itself makes it very interesting. Then there was a statement by a witness saying it was an alien artefact. The Chief Inspector was impressed. "You're very well informed, Polly. Tell me your source and I'll consider your request." She smiled. "Are we horse trading, Inspector?" "You could say that." Polly shrugged. It was no great secret. It was Johnny Burnett from the Sun newspaper. He had a call from the woman's husband trying to sell the story. Grafton nodded. "Did Burnett buy the story?" "Not if I know Johnny. The guy had already told him what the story was all about. And I just told you the whole story." She leaned on the desk and stared at him keenly. "I've told you all I know, Chief Inspector. Now, it's your turn." She watched as Grafton removed an open newspaper from his desk. Under it was a tray holding the artefact. The inspector pointed at it. "Be my guest." Polly stared at him, just like that. No secrecy. He shrugged, and Polly hesitated before picking it up. "You are sure this is okay?" "Nobody's told me it's on the secrets list, and it's already in the public domain, so help yourself." Polly picked up the artefact and studied it keenly. She examined it for a few seconds, excitement growing on her face, with the excitement transferring itself to the inspector. "What do you see, Polly?" She grunted as she held the artefact away from her face to let sunlight highlight anything she couldn't see on her close inspection. "It's manufactured." He nodded. "Yeah, we came to that conclusion as well. The question is, where? Where was it manufactured? Is it extraterrestrial?" Polly took a jeweller's eyeglass from her bag and scrutinised the object minutely before putting the glass away and answering. "Best guess, without taking the thing apart?" "I would guess it was made here on Earth." There was no disguising Chief Inspector Grafton's disappointment. "So, not alien?" There was a pause before Polly answered with a smile. You're disappointed it's not alien? No, I don't think it's alien. However, I had wondered if it might be a piece of satellite debris. She shook her head. I've seen a lot of satellites being made. I get invited to observe them being put together now and then. Grafton looked at her. Polly was deep in thought. Well? She shook her head. It's not part of a satellite, I can tell you that from the fused wires too. It's too amateurish. The Chief Inspector was astonished. Amateurish? It came from space. And you're calling it amateurish? It did come from space, didn't it? There was doubt in his voice and a long silence as Polly Epley considered her answer. It was her reputation on the line. She sighed. Yes, I believe the fusing happened on re-entry to the atmosphere, but we won't know for certain until it's taken apart. He stared at her. Re-entry? So you're saying that an amateur shot this thing into space? There was an even longer silence as the two looked at each other. Grafton, totally perplexed, with Polly astonished she'd committed herself to a judgment. She nodded. I think that's exactly what I'm saying.